What's up, YouTube? How's everybody doing today? I'm doing fine. Doing awesome, actually. That is not my intro. I don't know where it came from. Something just came over me, and I felt the need to speak like that. Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Resolute. I'm Duke. That's not quite my intro either, but we're just gonna go for it now. We need to get into the video. This is episode 13, and I have done a little bit off-camera work that finally needed to be done. We have begun to put in a little bit of work in the shopping district in terms of the path, because that had been something that was started by Knightfox and I a couple episodes ago, and as people are building shops, I figured the need to actually finish that. I should mention two things. First of all, where have I been? I was on a 9-day, I think it was, trip to the UK, so there had been no videos recently, and that is why this episode took so long to come out. But, in other news, on much better news, we hit 5,000 subscribers on this channel. This is an absolutely incredible feat. I am just still in shock, and I could not be happier. So thank you to everyone who's participated in the channel, both over the last 10 years and in the last 10 minutes. Really thankful for all of it. As you saw in the beginning of today's episode, in our good old introduction period there, we've been working on a little bit of a custom tree and just a roundabout, one might say, in the area outside my house. And this was done because I want the feeling of moments of interest along a path, right? So if you look out through the entirety of the spawn area, we have this path winding around. It does a pretty good job of meeting homes as necessary, and now we have one that's going to the shopping district a little bit. That's fantastic. But for the most part, it's just a path. So I figured, why not, again, these moments of interest, a point to stop, a point to reflect, a point to get a hold of your surroundings. Maybe there's something else along the way that you want to go see. So you have the opportunity to do that here. And I figured, why not turn this intersection into a little bit of a roundabout zone, have a custom tree, have some seating inside of it, and this little, I don't know, it's like a trellis system, but not quite. It's just like a ring around it. It's inspired from Skyrim, as in many things that I do. So the Gilder Green tree in Whiterun, of course this doesn't look anything like that tree, but the idea of having a tree in the center of town that's surrounded by a wood structure is exactly where I pulled the idea from. And I like it. I think it's turned out pretty cool. The big thing is, in my creative test world, I had the idea that you'd meet all of these on the cardinal directions, but this is kind of working out that you're going to end up entering in the corners, so I may need to slightly adjust how this looks. Right? Now this one makes sense. You come right at the corner, and I think it's more dynamic if you do that. But I also, I don't know, it feels like the arch at the centerpiece makes more sense. So we may slightly adjust a path or two. But Tom just messaged me here. I need to figure it out, and I'm actually going to meet up with him for a couple of things today. So we're going to go do that, and I'll be with you shortly. Alright, so this is Invisible Tom. I guess I should probably mention what we're doing here. If you can't tell, ooh, it's the Guardian farm. So we got that part done, which is as far into the video as I have watched.
That's exactly where I'm paused.
Let's go. All right, well then time to cut. Also, I don't entirely know why I'm taking control of leading this, because I've seen this video like halfway through. I know nothing.
I mean, you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it.
Hey, it doesn't matter what you say, it's how you say it.
Exactly.
Conviction.
Honestly, I think I could start making new farms and new redstone tutorials and just be super confident in saying it and get millions of views, probably, right?
I mean, I'd watch.
All right, we got one sucker. Perfect. So what do we do here, Tom? I think my horse is... I'm going to push him down. There's water, right?
Yeah, there is water.
Come on, Pepperoni. Just be good, please.
I don't think he'll fit. Horses don't fit in a 2x2.
He's just stuck now. Well, this wasn't supposed to happen. How did I get here?
What the hell?
I'm gonna say it's working.
Oh my god, the amount of XP I'm getting.
Dude,
Oh my god.
it is just total chaos on this side of the nether. Or the...
Oh, there is like... Oh my god, they're flowing in! This is insane!
I'm actually kind of happy that I'm here, because we're
shit.
gonna have two different perspectives on how this farm is working right now.
Oh my god. You should have seen it, they were just showering in.
Alright, so at the end of that last clip, I actually fell to my death, lost all my stuff that I had on me, and we basically had to start over. Luckily, I have been keeping a lot of diamonds in my ender chest, so I was able to get that back. As you can see, Tom and I have finished the Guardian farm, and while I was at work today, he actually spiced this thing up a little bit. So we had it fully functional yesterday, and you can just sit here and punch away, and they spawn so quickly it ends up actually lagging my computer fairly fast, which is insane to think about. Oh, here they come again. It's actually my new favorite farm, and Tom and I are going to be quite rich. We're intending to split the profits here. We're going to have all sorts of prismarine options. Actually, let's figure out a way to step down here. Oh, there's Tom right now. He's actually recording an outro to his... Oh, nice. He's recording an outro to his video. So I'm going to do the same here, although I already went through and started editing this, and we're only a couple minutes into this video, and I was expecting to be done right now. So looks like we're not done, but let's kind of see how things are going. All right, we've got some chests of things going right here. I like how he's got it split up, sorted out to the different items. As you can see, I have already some loot in my inventory just from last night when we just wrapped this up. He's also, I believe, building a squid farm over here so we can get dark prismarine as well. But I really can't do a ton of recording here, again, because of how laggy it gets when these fellas start spawning in. Either way, quite satisfied with the production here. And as I had mentioned, since I died, I had to get all new stuff. But look at this sword. Alright, we basically got everything back that we needed momentarily. I need to add some protection 5 to these pieces of armor here. But realistically, with the amount of XP that we're getting from this, with the amount of prismarine that we're going to be able to sell, this is a cash cow. We are going to be rolling in it if we haven't already. I should mention we have a new member on the server, and that is XeTrain. Unfortunately, I missed his tour, which I always try to be a part of all of them. It's something really important to me, is introducing all the new members and having fun with them, kind of greeting them, making them feel right at home. So unfortunately, I had invited him onto the server and then immediately went on my trip. So go check out his first couple episodes if you want to see his house and that tour that he did with a couple other members of the server. But we'll definitely see him more. All I really have so far, clip-wise, of him is this shot of Miney shooting him off an ore block. So, we are now back at our little spawn shop here, good old Duke's Honey. And if we open this chest, we will see that it is completely sold out. I came through here, collected the diamonds earlier. And if you recall, I've been selling them for 32 honeycomb per diamond. And they keep selling out, which is great. And that means business is booming, things are going well, and maybe the right business call would be to turn it from 32 per 1 diamond to 32 per 2 diamonds. See if I can still make a profit. But I'm going to take a different approach. And instead, we're now charging 1 diamond per a whole stack. So, honeycomb is officially on sale if you want to consider it that. And I hope people enjoy my generosity. No. On a real note, I just feel as if I owe it to the server to provide. We now have enough honey to sell a full stack, so we're going to do that. But I've been receiving some unfortunate news that maybe my donkey has gone missing. Let's go check that out. Interesting. So I'm here now at the barn that still has an open side. Whoops. And we have a couple situations here. So first of all, Big Tex is safe. Don't have to worry about Big Tex going anywhere, which is fantastic. Aquarius is doing all right. Our mule is living. But we have an open here, an open here. Clara even has a do not use sign over her head, which I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe she's just, I don't know. Miney was saying she was a really awful horse the other day, which hurts me deep inside, I must say. Danger Zone is seemingly gone. I know where Pepperoni is. We saw him in the Guardian farm earlier, but I have a sneaking suspicion that I know exactly where Danger Zone is, and we need to go retrieve him before any more harm is done. And I think I actually want to reclaim him as my own donkey for good. I think he belongs in safety. So let's just run over to Tom's real quick because I have a sneaking suspicion. What do we have here? That seems to be my good old friend Danger Zone in a pen at Tom's little set of stables here. Now I know he goes very, very into this whole horse breeding thing, right? He has the, I believe the block jump at the second, the speed on top. But Danger Zone isn't built for all that. You know, we've tried to breed Danger Zone in the past, and while it only happened once wasn't exactly the goal. I feel the need to maybe take him back into a little bit of a safer area where he doesn't feel so inclined to have to produce. He's a good friend of mine, you know, and I care about him very deeply. So we're going to give him a nice little pasture somewhere else. So I know the barn at the inn is not exactly finished yet, but Knightfox did come along and help move along the rest of the inn into an actual usable space here at the ground floor, which was the entire purpose of this build, right? So it was one of the first things I did on the server. Decided to throw up, you know, this portion and then the stable itself. And the idea was that Nate and Knightfox, both being the initial members on the server with me, is that they would input their little thing and the three of us would have this build that started as a community and grew along with it. So Knightfox has actually come along and done the interior here, and I love it, let me tell you. We have another bar, as if we, you know, needed another one, having one outside, but I guess we're just big drinkers here. I don't know what that says about us, but it's something to note. I like what he did with this little seating arrangement near the big fireplace, and of course we have some of these new chiseled bookshelves. Big fan of that. I also really love this map wall. I think it's starting to show a lot, and as you can see, we have the circle around the tree there. Our little roundabout location is really coming together, and I think it adds a lot. It is again one of those things where I wanted that moment, right? That specialized portion of the road to actually feel like a moment of interest. Feels like you need to stop, you need to take it in and enjoy what you see around. So I'm thinking we dot a couple of those around Spawn Town, and we'll really be onto something here soon enough. Bamboo or bamboo?
You know what I really want?
Please enlighten me.
Scaffolding.
You want scaffolding?
Yeah, but
well,
I have a string farm, so I'm good on that part.
These are excellent. Also, I'm just gonna give you a couple more stacks. There's your deal. You can determine how many stacks that gives me of frog lights as a result.
Is that enough? One of each?
Oh shoot! And I got a achievement for that.
What is that?
Um,
Have all frog lights in your inventory. I must have gotten it and not even noticed.
What? Well, that is beautiful. I am so happy I have each of these, because after the long-lost Jeremiah issue, now that I don't have to worry about getting my own bullfrog, this is just perfect.
Did you name tag him?
No, he's unnamed, but he's named in my heart.
I think he might be in my farm, to be honest.
Oh, okay. That's great. I'm glad you just put him to work, you know? He was living a lovely life out at the swamp. Actually,
I think
not really.
he was
but it's
always
fun.
in a tree, right? He was the one in a tree.
I think he ended up in a tree at one point, yeah.
I might have nabbed him, but he's the leader of the frogs in the frog farm now. So he's always wanted power, and now he has it.
He does. He deserves power. You know,
He does.
He escaped my initial farm,
He did.
and then now he's the ringleader of a even more probably horrific farm, if I had to guess. I haven't seen it, but mine was mildly humane because he had the option to leave if he wanted to, and he did.
They have freedom of movement, and technically that is free range. So
They're like chickens, yeah.
free range on stone, but free range.
On stone. They have to only step on like a hard surface the rest of their life. They'll never know the touch of
I could
water.
add some. Maybe I could add some. Maybe I could add some grass.
I mean, maybe just for their own sake. Like I know I may be building an industrial district right now, but I still care very much about these poor frogs. And if anything happened to them, I'd have to come and, well, we'll just say that the Resolute government might have to take control of your farm.
They are very well fed.
That's better than what Tom's doing. He had a little bee farm and he wasn't feeding them.
Oh no.
I know. I'm worried about this. There are animals here. So thank you for at least feeding them, even if they're on a solid surface the rest of eternity.
Free range though. Free range.
Mildly rangeable. Yep.
It's a decent size. At least 4 blocks per frog.
Oh, that's, I could live on this. I could live on that. Wow. So kind of you, really. As the sun begins to rise, we can now take a look at our little bit of a roundabout area, which I was in a call with Knightfox last night, and he walked over here and we were talking about it for a second. He goes, you know what? I think this reminds me of that tree from Whiterun in Skyrim, and I immediately had the biggest grin on my face. I was like, this is just incredible. Now, I know he's also a big Skyrim guy, just like I am, so it was almost natural for us to end up in that situation, but I'm glad the feeling behind it works. Oh, there goes Miney. It really makes me happy to know that others see that and understand the interest that I had in creating this. But as you can see, I have finished the roundabout portion itself. I had toyed with the idea of having the road go along the outside, but I believe I like the aspect of having to actually enter through the gates into this area before you're able to get let out again. So as you can see, all 4 corners, how they meet, you must go through this roundabout portion itself, which I'm a pretty big fan of, and it turned out well. So I'm happy with this. Little Oak Tree 1 is doing well, and I'll have to landscape the area around my house a bit more so this all kind of vibes. Right now, we have an area that is fleshed out and finished, and we also have the house, which for the most part is as well. There's this gap between the two, and it feels empty, and it feels unfinished, which both of those would be accurate. So in the near future, that's what we'll be doing. But for now, this is where I'm going to have to wrap up today's episode. Maybe a bit of a short one, I understand, but I needed to get something out. I feel like I accomplished a lot for how short of a video this is. And before we go, I should mention we are still accepting applications as a server. So if you're interested in joining us, want to be a part of all this, feel free to apply. There's a link down in the description. And if you like the server but just want to hang out, come join the Discord. We do that as well. But I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I will see you maybe in the next one. That'd be kind of cool. This has been Duke. I'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.